Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some no banned historic. The Throne of Eldraine pre-release and stuff is out, at least for the streamers that get to play it early. So instead of playing those formats, I'm just going to play no banned historic for right now until the cards become legal on Arena. But we are playing Grixis Shadow. This is a deck that used to be a thing in Modern, but Lurrus got banned for being too good. The reason I'm highlighting the sideboard here is because if you hit an opponent that's playing Channel or playing Karn in their deck, you actually need an artifact sideboard to kind of benefit off that. And no banned historic, it's all free. You don't have to craft anything, so it's just free to go ahead and throw these cards in the side. But main players in the deck that we get access to that we didn't have in that Modern deck previously is we get Orcish Bowmaster along with Brainstorm as some of the cards that we get to play. The only downside is we don't have Dress Down, which combos really well with Death Shadow by allowing it to just become a 13/13 out of nowhere, even if you play it on one. But it allows us to play this and it be good along that line, but no Dress Down legal, so we can't play it. Other than that, this is the deck list. I hope you all enjoy it, and let's just get right into the video. I'm going to go first. I have a Ragavan, can't play on one. A Dragon Race Chandler, I can't play on one. My hand's a little awkward. I might have to actually throw this back. Half my hand's uncastable, or like partially half. We'll maul. We'll see what we get. Sure, I guess. We don't mind taking damage. We'll send back a Bauble, I guess. Brainstorm draws us much more. Might be Mount Dooming and Thought Seizing on turn one, because we got to be careful of the channel deck. I'm gonna just make their hand as awkward as I can. Stick to Brainstorm. Oh man, how would I ever know? Curious if they Brainstorm lock themselves though. That is a thing, it can happen. We play things like Dragon Race Chandler to kind of manipulate the top so we don't get Brainstorm locked. Bobble should be it. Another Thought Seize. Not gonna Uro now. They really can't. I guess I could force them to Brainstorm now. Might be important. You can Brainstorm, protect their cards from a Thought Seize, which is kind of annoying, but they gotta do it though. Like how it hid the cards, but Thought Seizing them. Kill the Dead, Uro. So we know they put an Uro on top. Let's just take one of them away. Turn. Added a Field of the Dead to their hand. Bring Yavimaya. Do this. A Spell Pierce. Sure. Crack the draw. Okay, we got Bolt or Unholy something. Although, most likely Brainstorm putting their Uro back in their hand, doing all that nonsense. We just need to find like a card that actually interacts and attacks and plays on the board. Which might be just land by Lurrus at this point. Start trying to Bauble cycle if they're not going to do anything. Realistically, it's probably just the best case scenario. Oh, that's fine. Huh? Lurrus. There you go. Hey, that can calm down. I think there's just like a channel deck in addition to what they're doing. Hey, Bobble for free. We'll stack Bobble. We'll look at their deck. Dudes are going to draw growth spirals, kind of whatever. Turn. Bobble we draw. We draw another Bobble. Not really what we want, but growth spiral here is them not having another land. No land in play off that. Second defense grid. We're just never interacting on their turn. They're never interacting on ours, I suppose. Ugh. I'll talk about something that's annoying. Look at our top deck. Another Unholy Heat. Cast this. This up. Library. Out there. Go ahead and Bobble again. Bobble ourselves now. Another expressive iteration. I would just like any threats in my deck. That'd be nice. Another defense grid. At this point, I don't even care. He can turn his defense grids into Elks, I suppose. Don't worry, my Brainstorm's only 7 mana. I would assume they could Uro, I suppose. But I would assume I'm losing my Luris. Allowing me to have all that value makes no sense. We have an answer for this, and we found a good card. So, that's sweet. We move face. Here's a Noodle Bonk for you, opponent. No life to gain there. We're going to play a huge Death Shadow. Unholy Heat. Got to do everything now because 18 defense grids makes it impossible. We have another Unholy Heat for an Uro later. So we'll play this Death Shadow. Play a massive 9/9. End. Once upon a time. Oh, they have a colorless mana. They can't play Uro. I forgot. And they miss and they concede. Wow. Field of the Dead. So you know they're probably on like 28 lands and they miss them all. That's kind of wild. Good to go first. Have Thoughtseize or Brainstorm. I wish I just had the Ragavan mana. We'll keep, I guess. The Brainstorm's they can't find us to our Ragavan mana. I'd be very upset. Oh my god! Hello? What is happening here? Frantic Searches are gross. Lightning Bolts are gross. I'm gonna take the 1,000-Year Storm, I guess. I mean, I guess I could take a Frantic Search away so they have less card draw. Bolts are going to be slightly annoying and hard for us to get through. But if we do nothing, then who cares? You know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll just bolt us. Maybe they'll get greedy. No? I'm kind of excited if they're like just Storm. We'll Brainstorm now, though. Manipulate. We found an Orcish Bowmaster. Great to flash in with the Frantic Search. This one... I guess it doesn't really matter. These two have Islet on the bottom because we'll draw Bolt here. Lock this in. We're just going to play a Ragavan. Obviously, they have 2 Bolts ready. So we're just going to play it. Whenever an opponent draws a card except for the first one they draw on each of their draw steps. Yeah, I could just Bowmaster now. Then this will ping for 2 and amass 2. Is that worth it? I think it's worth it. Ping, amass, draw, ping, amass. Now I've built like a board state. They have to kind of use their bolts. One of their bolts will obviously be for Ragavan, I would assume. Other would be for Bowmaster. Then we're left with like a 2/2. Maybe not the greatest thing in the world, but we also have the option to buy Luris and have that as a threat with a land coming down the pipeline. This also gets rid of the bolts, so we don't have to necessarily worry about them. a Frantic Search instead, allowing me to get a hit off with Ragavan, which for us is great. In their deck that draws cards, we hit a land off the top. I am buying this Lurrus, and I am playing this Islet, and I'm going to pass. We have 3 speed spells. We have Lurrus coming down next turn, where we can play a Bowmaster. I have another Bolt. Will they use it, or are they holding it for some doubling effects, like with 1,000-Year Storm? Grape Shot's legal in this format. Tendrils is also legal in this format that I just thought about. I don't think they're playing Tendrils, but they could, I guess. The only problem is you don't have Rituals. Sure. Ragavan is gone. Ragavan, if they tap out for whatever reason, I can actually play it again and play it back with the Lurrus. Maybe we'll force them to interact with us. Let's brainstorm. Want to counter brainstorm. Hesitation here would make us think it is, but they have an Islet, so we'd have to be careful of that. Put these 2 back. I want the land. Do the combat. They let us. I know I talked about Lurrus Ragavan, but I might just play Lurrus, play Ragavan, and play Dragon Race Chandler. Just like play him normally. I would assume Lurrus is going to eat a counterspell. That's the cool part about decks that are trying to stay around is... Oh, I guess it just eats Lightning Bolt, right? Is it worth it? I think so. I think it's worth it. Might just have a counterspell, but if they don't... If they try to bolt this Lurrus, I'll flash into Bowmaster. I think having Bowmaster is honestly better than Rag here. As it generates value. Had a upkeep stop. Maybe they wanted to do something. You have opponent. Trying to control the game here. We're gonna bolt first. That's 3 bolts. Gone. I would assume it's a Frantic Search. Yep. They would have got shot for 3, and this would have grown to a 6/6 and been lethal on its own. But pretty much have lethal. Just need to threaten it. Back. What do we need? We need a land in there. This. Pass blockers. We can bolt him again and stack the Islet. Oh. Yep. So I think they had an answer for 1, maybe like a Brazen Borrower or something to bounce. Or something along those lines. But we'd be able to bolt him. And then sack the Islet to draw a card. And the Islet would be our 4th type in our graveyard. So the Dragon Race Chandler would also hit them for 3. So we had it covered. Like when Tybalt's Trickery was good. Or like legal, I guess. You would just sometimes queue up and it would just be Tybalt's Trickery, like counter their thing. And if they whiffed, they would leave. If they won, or if they hit, you had to leave because you lost. Kind of feels the same way. White. Well, we'll Unholy Heat this out of the way. Because we need Ragavan to bonk their noodle. The land. Jock this in for Bowmaster, plus we don't care about our life total going low. If they play another 1-drop, this Bowmaster is going to be incredible. What if they play 2 1-drops? Go ahead and do this. Play another one. And amass that. Cool part about amassing is it all attaches to one token. So this just constantly grows. Now we have an Unholy Heat. We get to concede. Another land off the top. Maybe they were missing it. Unsure. What goes first? We have Dragon Race, Chandler, and 2 Baubles. And a Fable, technically, for next turn. Sure. We have Fable in the deck to shuffle our stuff away. Memory artifacts, I would assume. Or Azorius Hammer. Huh. Dragon Chandler, put a Bauble in the stack, triggered the Chandler. Blood Crypt. I think we keep. I'm gonna hold this Bauble because I don't want to waste Surveil here. The reason I want to keep this is because we do need to lose life, although our opponent might help us in that regard. Might be a weird keep on top, but we actually have plays to this Fable Passage now to where the land will enter untapped. And we might be able to use the Fable Passage later in response, like with a Bloodstorm, a Brainstorm. Sure. What a weird time to float your mana. What is happening? Did they think they were in a different part of their turn or something? Endersphere. An attack there, no block, of course. We'll take the hit. No land on top for Mr. Sir here. Get a good look at the top of our library. Unholy Heat can go for now. They hit a land here. They have a sphere, the Darksteel Citadel, so they do. It's indestructible. Do we have a way to even beat that? Not sure. We'll shock this in because we need to. Can I get rid of the Ginger Brew or the Flyer? I don't think so. Not blocking, so I'll attack. Watery Grave. It'd be really nice to find an Orcish Bowmaster here. Find a land like we knew. Affinity for artifacts. There's Mirror Retriever. Good thing Unholy Heat can actually clean that up pretty easily. Sure. Huh. Yep. Go ahead and Unholy Heat this, I think. Thought Seize for the last card that we know is a spell. Yeah, we'll keep that there. The reason we know it's a spell is because they missed the land drop and they didn't do anything else. So we do know for a fact that it's a land drop. We'll shock this in. We'll fire off this Thought Seize. Hold on top. Probably worth keeping. Patchwork Automaton. The unremovable, as the kids would say. Play this for 1. It'll only get bigger as the game goes on. Hopefully at some point we get to see like a trample trick. I don't know if you've ever seen how that works. But basically, if you have a Death Shadow and you block something with trample, if they don't assign the damage right, they'll actually deal too much damage to you, and your Death Shadow will grow back because all the damage happens at once, and it also grows back at the same time. So it's pretty cool. They have to be careful though, because if they do attack, like, which they will, of course. No. My Death Shadow is going to grow into a 7/7 now. I now have a Bolt. Let's cast this Expressive Iteration and see what we got here. Could have done it post-combat. We'll keep that Ragavan to play. Hand. Bottom of library. Into that Exile Zone. Let's play this Fable. Let's shuffle it up. Here's our land in our graveyard. I don't have a basic mountain in the deck. And I declined. Oh my god. I meant to just look out of the deck. I'm so stupid. Why'd I do that? I guess we just hold this Bolt at this point. Attack with this. Hold this Death Shadow back. Man, I'm so dumb. I can't believe I did the Fable thing just then. Although they have nothing going on, so I might not get punished. I literally meant to just like look away from the search and come down here to do that. This is the value we get. If they were trying to save mana for any reason whatsoever, we'd be able to block this Ginger Brute. And we want to wait till now to do it because they could equip the Bone Saw to their flyer. Allow their flyer to have some value in the air. Thoughtseize is unneeded now for sure. Let that go. Bone Saw will come back. I would assume they equip their Thopter. They do not. Let's cast this and let's stop being goofy. Spell Pierce isn't going to do anything. This will resolve. We'll put Blood Crypt in the hand. We'll put this on the bottom. We'll put a Bobble out here so we can get a good card draw. Activate this Dragon Rage Chandler. Again, we don't want another Spell Pierce. But they're drawing. Drawing a Bobble, so they get a free draw here. You have to be careful, so we'll play that. We'll have it enter tapped. We'll cast a Ragavan. We know they're drawing Bobble, so this 7/7 is actually safe to attack. I'm down to block with Ragavan. Maybe we'll scare them into blocking here. Nope. That's it. They also have to be careful of attacking because I do have a shadow. Hey, I found the swamp that I didn't grab with my Fable Passage. Alright, they pick him up. So, big mistake by us, but we got our opponent to pick him up, so it's fine. I'm gonna go first. I have Shadows, I have Brainstorm, I have Dragon Rage Chandler and Bolt, but we're gonna mull that one away to my lord. We'll keep. Throw Thoughtseize back, I guess. That's tough. Oh no, it's just elves. I mean, we just take the cord. I thought it was going to be channel. If they would have just played land, played channel, I probably would have cried. But hey, Bowmaster, I rip a land like the best player can. Because Fable Passage obviously is not great here. We'll pass. We'll see if they do anything to like randomly draw a card. There are some elves that enter to draw. If they play one of those, it's going to backfire. Or we're going, it's uncounterable, but it's not. We get to cheat. Kill this. Spell Pierce that, and we come out on top anyway. I forgot that they get to play Natural Order and go grab a Crater Hoof or something and put it into play. That is a thing that they get to do. Well, at this point, because of that, I think it's clean that we have to pick this creature up. I'm not getting Natural Ordered again. Because if they have land drop Natural Order, it's going to be really bad for us. Land, if that's Natural Order, we would have been in trouble. That Shadow is really good draw now. We'll Bowmaster, ping him for 1. Underworld Breach is a good draw for later here. We'll buy Lurrus. Could have saved a life, but not too concerned about it right now. I'm gonna hold it around, make them think. Land, let it go now. We need another blue source. We do have Basic Mountain. I must have just put it in the graveyard earlier, like I was trying to check. I thought sees them, or do we think it's just land since they haven't done anything? We'll play Luris. Come on, Holy Heat turned on. It is. You can always play Underworld Breach again later, so we'll play it now. We have a Luris in play, so we'll cast a Bolt, picking this up. Exile, exile, exile. Next, combat. Yep. Underworld Breach is gone, but again, we can play it again off of Luris if needed. Another Shepherd. And a conceding gamer. Server's struggling a little bit. But yeah, so here's our deck. This is what we were playing. It's fun. Luris got banned in Modern for a reason. This is kind of the bullshit that they got to play with. Yeah, if you could tell, look how many 1 mana spells / 0 mana spells that we play. We just get to play cool cards like Bolt, which is nowhere legal on Arena. We get to play with Ragavan, which is a messed up card in itself. We got Bobble, which is free cycle, and Dragon Race Chandler is basically a combo deck. Then we have Death Shadow. Death Shadow, since coming onto Arena, hasn't been able to like kind of shine because we don't have fetches, but that will change. This card will become more prevalent whenever Cons of Tarkir come out because you do get access to the fetch lands and cons. Now, you can argue that they're not going to bring fetches. I don't know if they've stated anywhere that they are or not. But from my perspective, on the Arena client, that's like 20 free rares that they get to have people craft if you play Historic. So, I feel like they're coming to Historic. The other thing is you'll start to get Dig Through Times and Treasure Cruises and stuff like that to get fueled off this. At least in this Unbanned format that is really cool to play. If you haven't got to play it, I definitely recommend that you should. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. The only other thing I'll touch on is this sideboard. Covert Go Blue made a good point. I was playing Luris, of course, because Luris is like the whole point of playing this deck in the companion. But putting random artifacts in here because of the fact that you can play against a channel deck and have your Ragavan hit your opponent and get a Karn. So you do want to basically, in this best of 1 format, play these. And you don't have to craft them because all the cards are legal. So it's no downside to just throwing random artifacts in here to be able to play off of a Karn if you happen to hit it with a Ragavan. Just small things to think about whenever you're playing and other things like that. But again, I get to play Luris with Brainstorm, Dragon Race Chandler to kind of shuffle it away. That's the reason there's a Fable Pass here. We have 1 copy of Mount Doom that can kind of ping some stuff down if we need to. An Academ's Awakening to help make this Death Shadow more reasonable. And Orcish Bowmaster, the new card from Lord of the Rings that has been putting a lot of work in every format that it sees play. So I hope you all enjoy, but that's all I have for this deck in non-banned Historic. I hope you did enjoy it. If not, sick, let me know. But I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.